This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today I want to go a little bit deeper on sexual transmutation. I'm going to explain a little bit more about the practical terms in terms of going from masculinity to femininity, because femininity is truly where it's at. So if you haven't watched the first video, go back and watch it first. In terms of sexual transmutation is simply allowing yourself to be in the now and to be massively motivated in general about life and about moving towards a greater, amazing future. So women are still goal-oriented. I'm not taking that away from you. It's just that you have different goals than men do. Remember, men desire power. And in order to have power, they need to blossom in terms of providing and protecting. And those are not the responsibilities of a woman. A woman's responsibility is just to throw those responsibilities over to the men. Because the moment women don't have to solve a lot of problems anymore, they begin to enjoy the now. The problem in today's age, we've got a lot of masculine women because of the workplace. Because women are choosing independence and they're choosing to go to work. Now that's great, okay? But it's gonna be at an expense. It's gonna be at the expense of your femininity because you're moving towards masculinity. And to be honest with you, it's the wrong wall. It's not the ladder you want to be climbing. Don't climb towards masculinity. And you can see in the comment section below, you're gonna see women who are letting go of their masculinity and entering into their femininity and feeling so much better about themselves, about others, about the world in general. Everything changes. Masculine women have this dark and dreary cloud over them all of the time. You know why? It's because that they are taking upon themselves the responsibility of all the problems in the world until they don't have any more capacity. And when they don't have any more capacity, they begin to look at the world as a dark and dreary place, but it's not. The world is a fantastic, beautiful place that needs to be experienced. And what better way of doing that than traveling and enjoying the world, enjoying food, enjoying people, being around other people, and not have to think about the cares of this world. And now women are like, yeah, but there's no guy out there who will provide for me. The only reason why there's no guy who wants to provide for you is because most of the time you're masculine. The moment you shift from masculinity towards femininity, and you literally move towards femininity in all that you do, everything that you do, you have no masculinity. Trust me, there will be a guy who is a man of high value who will take care of you as long as you don't choose him yourself, okay? Allow a network of people to do that for you and with you so that you can choose the right guy who's actually going to constantly and continuously improve. Going back to the practical terms of sexual transmutation for women. It has to do with sexual desire, but a lot of women are like, well, how do I practice this sexual transmutation? It doesn't make any sense. For guys, it's semen retention. For women, it's question mark. So I'm going to tell you right now how to practice it. First of all, sexual desire is something that is produced in you naturally. You don't really have to do anything to have it. If you haven't noticed, masculine women need sex. Okay, now, yeah, sometimes they desire it, but very often those times that they truly desire sex, it's because they are intoxicated or they're using some form of stimulants that makes them go wild, okay? Masculine women have a hard time going wild in the bedroom because they don't really feel anything. That's masculine women's problems. Their emotions are basically absent. And they have to like use pills and use different aspects in order for them to actually get in the now. The moment that they begin the act of sex, it's like, oh, they get like the brain release in some sense. But it wasn't because they desired sex or wanted to have sex with that guy. It was because they needed it. You don't want to need sex. You want it to be because you massively desire it. That happens when you are feminine and you understand what sex can do for you. But that's for sexual aspects, and that's for those who are in long-term committed relationships. I'm talking now a little bit to those, yes, but I also want to talk about to the singles. What do you do in terms of sexual transmutation? In practical terms, Get rid of the responsibilities, get rid of the financials, get rid of as much as possible, but you've got to retain your job if you don't have anyone that can provide for you. If you can move home to your parents, that's fantastic, because that allows you to practice this a lot more. Okay, so now that you're unburdened, because step number one is just massively unburden yourself. This is how you begin to allow yourself to practice sexual transmutation. Now that you're unburdened, guess what? You can now burden yourself a little bit with understanding sexuality and understanding your body. You want to be turned on at all times and all places. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it needs to be in a controlled manner. Get rid of the alcohol, get rid of the cigarettes, get rid of all those things. Unburden yourself truly. Once you've gotten rid of addictions, then you can begin understanding sexuality, sexual transmutation, and all those things. You can't really practice this when you are, when you've got a lot of other issues, a lot of other problems. You can never achieve your true potential while you're tinkering and working on projects and working on independence and making money and solving this problem for your boss. No, that's not where your true potential lies. Your true potential lies in sexuality, believe it or not. Your true potential lies in femininity. Your true potential lies in creating a group of people who massively worship you and love you and adore you because of who you are. A feminine, nurturing, loving, kind, beautiful woman. And those things can be had at any age, okay? You can even have it without fertility. The fact that you're beautiful, that you're kind, loving, patient, all those amazing things that women could have if they focused on femininity. But the problem is that a lot of women are choosing independence and choosing the huge workload that's going on these days. What a waste. It's such a waste. You guys can truly have it all. And the all I'm talking about is being massively in love in a relationship that's a win-win situation, and being turned on all the time, not only for your husband, for your long-term committed partner, but you're also turned on about life. You can't be doing that when you're doing all the other crap. You would want a guy to be able to handle that stuff so that you don't have to, because guys can do so much more if they're motivated to do so. And the fact is, if you are feminine, he will be motivated to do so. What about porn? It's a stimulant. Get rid of it. It's not good for you. It's not good for you in the long run, okay? You might have a massive spike of like, oh, it feels so good and it's so nice. And then you need more of it, and then you start watching worse and worse and worse and worse porn, and it becomes degrading, and you begin to feel dirty and shamed and guilty and all that stuff. Like, a lot of women are talking about, you know, masturbation and stuff like that as like, oh, I got rid of it because I was feeling shame and guilty and all that stuff. Women should be allowed to explore their bodies. They should be allowed to understand their sexuality because it's part of their femininity. The fact that religions and parents for all these thousands of years have been like, no, women are not sexual. No, don't do that. That's really been, that's massive oppression towards women in my eyes. And that should be the thing that's wrong. Because girls should be allowed to explore themselves, to explore their bodies, to masturbate. I'm completely for it, as long as it does not become addictive. And the only reason why it becomes addictive for women is because they're massively burdened in other areas of their lives. Okay, so if you're massively burdened in other areas of your life, try to fix those things first, unburden yourself, and then when you desire sex, that's when you use that's when you explore your sexuality and all that stuff. If you continuously and constantly need it every single day, or you're addicted to it and you feel that you're addicted to it, then there's something behind that that's wrong, and that needs to be fixed first. Because that will become a burden eventually if you have to watch porn, if you have to masturbate. But the whole point is, if you desire to masturbate and without using stimulants, without using props, without using porn, without using all of that stuff, and you have a desire to explore yourself, that's fantastic. And you should do that, and you should have no shame, no guilt whatsoever about it, because you're doing it not only for yourself, but you're doing it for your future loving, long-term committed partner. The fact that women are rigid these days is very sad. It doesn't motivate men at all. You have to understand that the more you explore your sexuality on your own, by yourself, and not with other guys, the more you are pleasing your long-term future committed partner if you don't have one already. And also allow your fantasies to roam. Very often women feel so bad about the things that they think about. They feel so bad about, like, there's so much shame and guilt going on in the world, and it saddens me because women have so much capacity in their brains. You don't want to cut those wires off. You want them to be developed, because the more they develop in some sense, the less degrading pictures are going to be in your head. With that said, now that she's turned on about life, now she's turned on about it, does that mean that she should orgasm? Should she not orgasm? It doesn't matter. It's your sexuality. You need to be able to feel what the right thing to do is for you. You need to know you. Just do what feels right and natural for you, as long as you stay within the boundaries. The boundaries are no porn and no sexual partners and no doing anything with anyone else that your future long-term partner would disapprove of, okay? You want to be able to talk to your future long-term committed partner and tell him everything about your youth, everything about your sexuality, everything about your fantasies, everything, and you want to be able to explore that with him. But you don't want to tell him that, yeah, I had this and this and this and this and this and this and this sexual partner. That's not a turn on for him. You understand? And it's not going to be a turn on for you either. The fact that you've maybe had those sexual partners might actually burden you at the moment you get a long-term committed partner. So hope this helps. Hope that it explained a little bit more about sexual transmutation for women. If you've got any questions, comment down below. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. I'm doing this all for you guys, and I hope that you feel unburdened from the things I share, because that's truly the goal. The goal is to unburden women as much as flippin' possible, because the moment we do that, the more feminine they'll be, the more motivation you'll create for men, the more you'll need men, which is a positive thing, and the more they will need you back, and then you can together be able to create a beautiful family and beautiful next generations. This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you in the next video.